Okay, guys, and we're back with another episode of the Seth Solo Side Quest. I'm Seth from the Lonely Stoner podcast, and in this episode, we're going to be talking about Dave Allen v Johnny Fisher 2, the rematch that happened at the Copperbox this past weekend. I was there, live in attendance, watching it live, saw the, huge upset, live and direct, was right there in the crowd, in the mix of it. Of course, going into this fight, Johnny Fisher was the heavy favourite, despite the performance in the first fight, where Johnny Fisher did win, but I think it's basically almost unanimous at this point that everyone sort of regarded that Dave Allen won that fight. Obviously, the decision was given to Johnny Fisher in the first fight, but the second time round, Dave Allen wasn't going to let it go to a decision. All right, and despite being the big underdog, and despite on the scorecards losing the first four rounds, in my opinion, I think you could arguably maybe give Dave Allen the first round, but second, third, and fourth was Johnny Fisher's rounds, if we're being honest. But this was part of Dave Allen's tactics, from what we heard, from what Dave Allen spoke about. This was part of his tactic where he was going to force Johnny Fisher to be up against the ropes, work hard, fight on the outside, not really allow Johnny Fisher the chance to sit down on his punches and do some serious damage. Dave Allen was taking all the shots from Johnny Fisher, walking him down, applying that pressure, making Johnny Fisher overreact and overpunch. And then you could see Johnny Fisher was visibly tired come the third, fourth round, right? You could tell he was tired come the fourth round, and Dave Allen was unwavering. I mean, honestly, when I was watching it live, I'm thinking, bloody hell, these are some decent shots from Johnny Fisher that are landing. I wouldn't want to take these shots. And to be honest, even at points, it did look like Johnny Fisher had Dave Allen a bit, where Dave Allen was sort of overreacting to some of those shots. I mean, you could tell, like, Johnny Fisher's clearly got power in his hands, right? And he was landing some clean shots on Dave Allen, and even shots, like I said, where it looked like Dave Allen, these shots were getting to Dave Allen, and it was sort of forcing some big reactions out of him, especially when facing into the body. Dave Allen remained undeterred in his efforts, though. He continued to walk down Johnny Fisher, continued to apply that pressure, and showed that those punches that were landing in the first four rounds, they're nothing to Dave Allen. Dave Allen can walk through those punches, and that's exactly what he did. Coming into the fifth round, again, it was more of the same, but you could tell, obviously, Johnny Fisher was getting quite tired. Dave Allen landed one brutal body shot, and you could tell immediately that Johnny Fisher had felt it. You could tell he was already tired, and then one body shot was all it took to, not make him fold, but concede a lot of ground. I think it's safe to say conceded a lot of ground. And then from there, Dave Allen went in for the kill. Dropped him once, got him up, then put him out flat on his face. And put him out. And like I said, a huge upset. And I'm really just going to be talking about the fight in this video. I think Dave Allen's had a really interesting career, and I'll make a video about that. And I think Johnny Fisher potentially could go on to have a very interesting career, and I'll probably make a video about that too. But Dave Allen wins his first belt in boxing, which is crazy to see, because you look at the guys he's been in the ring with. He's been in the ring with some high level guys. He's lost to a number of high level guys. Your Frazier Clarks, your Dillian White, your Luis Ortiz's. He's lost to those guys, and he's got a loss to Johnny Fisher on his record as well. He's avenged that loss, and he becomes the WBA Intercontinental Champion. That's a huge win for Dave Allen, and Dave Allen no doubt would have been paid very handsomely for that. Dave Allen has, like I said, he's had a very interesting career. When he wins his first belt in boxing, and when I was there, honestly, the shock, the surprise, because like I said, you could tell Johnny Fisher was getting tired, but he was winning the rounds, right? So it was weird, where you're sort of thinking, he's winning this, he can't continue like this. Honestly, I was thinking it was going to be probably similar to the first fight in Saudi, where Johnny Fisher probably won the start of the fight, and then come the second half, Dave Allen was sort of started to come on a bit. Right, and it basically was similar to that, except this time around, Dave Allen got the finish. Dave Allen wasn't going to let it go to a judge's decision this time, and gets a huge win in the Copperbox. Like I said, I was there. A decent undercard too. If I can be bothered, if I can find time, I might make a video about some of the undercard fighters as well, because there's some interesting prospects on that belt, on that card. But like I said, a huge win for Dave Allen. And we'll see what's next for Dave Allen. I'll probably make a video about what I think could be next for Dave Allen, some potential opponents, but huge upset, and one of the best finishes I've probably seen up there. I mean, I've seen a couple of really good finishes live when UFC was in England a few years back, but yeah, what a knockout! What a way for Dave Allen, a guy like Dave Allen who's so loved in the boxing scene, particularly domestically in Britain. Dave Allen's really loved and really respected, and great to see him get his flowers. I know so quickly as boxing fans we're often quick to write off guys like him when you see his record. To be fair to Dave Allen, going into this fight, I think he had 18 or 19 knockouts, but boxing fans, they don't look at that. They look at the losses. You see a guy who's got more than 3 or 4 losses on his record, you think he's probably a bum. That's not the case, particularly with a guy like Dave Allen, where he's got so much to give. Even now, I think he's still got another couple fights in him, and hopefully he'll go in there with some more high-level guys, and hopefully he can get paid. But yeah, another episode of the Seth Solo Side Quest in the bag, and I'm out. Peace.